Hi everybody, welcome once again to Low on Health Rambling. Today is December 12th, 2010. It's around 7:46 p.m. Why I give timestamps, I don't know. Just something I do because I look at my computer monitor right there and it gives me the time. But it's cold. I don't know, we got most of the East Coast has basically had this nice cold front just pushing on through. Apparently the barrier that keeps a lot of the cold air out of the U.S. from Canada has actually apparently come down, I think is what the news reports or weather reports were saying. But it's cold. Like, I've had the house set to like 57 for the last couple of days. I've actually bumped it up to I think 60 now, just because it's been getting really, really cold. And I do rock the electric blanket and whatnot, but it's still cold. I recall last year it was easier because I was unemployed. That when it was really cold in the morning, you could just sleep in. But now I'm getting used to the whole, once again, waking up and then stepping on the cold tile, taking a shower, coming out in the coldness and whatnot. And granted, yes, it's not as bad as other places, but for most of us Floridians, it's definitely a severe difference. And there wasn't some easy, like nice little ease into it. There was no gradual decline in the weather. It's like literally we lost like 20 degrees worth of weather in like the course of like a week. But that's just me complaining about the weather. Other things I can complain about naturally. I mentioned before my sister is now currently living with me, so yay. She's currently going to school for something or other. I haven't really kept track of it. As most of you probably know, who have known me or whatnot, when I talk about the sister, this is the older sister who's like in her mid-20s. She's younger than me and whatnot, and I really don't follow up on her, and I'm not, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I'm not going to say she's a constant disappointment, but yeah, she kind of is. But this is me giving her a chance to basically kind of prove me wrong and whatnot, and maybe build up some respect for her. Because just because you're part of my family or you're blood related to me doesn't mean I automatically respect you. You do have to earn that respect just like anybody else does. But she's living here. She starts her new job not last week, but apparently this week now. And the cool thing is she has a Wii. In which case, yay, she had a Wii. I could play some Wii games. But apparently she can't get the cables. Apparently she forgot to take the power supply, sensor bar, and AV cables, which... whatever, she has the Wii and the Wii balance board and everything in the controllers, but no Wii cables or whatnot, and she can't get them. It's a whole ex-boyfriend type of thing, and it just sucks because I was looking forward to doing that, but now I can't. So what are you gonna do? Order new cables? That's something I'll probably do once I can get some actual money from her once her new job starts. So I'm being nice for once. Put that on record. But anyway, let me just go and talk about what I've been doing this week, in which case, not much. Just been kind of a relaxing week. I did a bunch of game video review videos up, which I don't know, probably nobody watches them, but I did those over the course of the week, and then kind of just been playing games here or there. But I did actually pick up the Scott Pilgrim on Blu-ray from Blockbuster, because I have that Blockbuster thing now, in which case I'm just going to do my rambling on Scott Pilgrim, which I was going to do towards the end of the year anyway. Now, Scott Pilgrim is a franchise? I don't know how you want to say it. It's basically like a story and whatnot. It was a set of graphic novels that got turned into a movie. And I really didn't hear about Scott Pilgrim until I heard that Edgar Wright was directing it. And Edgar Wright is the guy that did Spaced with Simon Pegg on it, which is a BBC series that I love to death. Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. And I really enjoyed Edgar Wright's work. And once I heard he was working on this project, I looked into it and whatnot. And this was like earlier this year. And I was like, oh, cool, and I started reading the graphic novels and whatnot. And as many of you know, as I saw the movie a lot, Jeff was nice enough, his sister Patty was actually able to get advanced screening tickets, so I was able to see it before it came out, and then I actually saw it the next week after at the movie theater with Jeff, Felina, and Doug, in which case I got to experience Wet Willie's at Channelside, which I love because it's a big daiquiri bar, which I mentioned before. And then the next week I saw it with Darren out in Wesley Chapel, and the week after that I saw it with Mike out in Woodlands. And after that, you couldn't find it in theaters anymore because it kind of bombed at the box office. But I love the movie to death, and I read the graphic novels 2 times now in a row, so yay. So I didn't pick up the Blu-ray for it just because I'm poor and whatnot. But I was looking forward to it because of commentary. I love to hear it behind the scenes, especially with this type of movie. I wanted to hear about the adaptation and whatnot. So I picked up, anyway, Scott Pilgrim on Blu-ray, and I watched there's 4 commentaries on it, in which case I watched the first one with Edgar Wright, Brian O'Malley, and the other co-writer, in which case they talk about the adaptation. And the most interesting note, if you haven't listened to the commentaries, not much about Scott Pilgrim, in which case I didn't know this facet of it, that Edgar Wright got pulled into the project when he was at a premiere for Shaun of the Dead. Back when book 2 for Scott Pilgrim came out, did Edgar Wright get involved, and it basically pre-production on the movie started. which was interesting to hear that this was kind of going tandem with the movies. And Edgar had mentioned he was working on a Hot Fuzz while still kind of banging out stuff for Scott Pilgrim. And it was just really interesting to listen to the commentary with him talking with Brian O'Malley, the artist, about just different things. Like they were constantly collaborating with doing this and that, and the ending changed from this and that, which was really cool. The other commentary that I did listen to was with Edgar Wright and I think Bill Pope, who was the DP, the director of photography. And that's the kind of commentary I like listening to because they talk about the different shots and different effects they use, and I really like that point. Unfortunately, the two other commentaries on the Blu-ray, which is great to have that many commentaries, were with the actors. No Edgar Wright, no kind of shot people, just the actors talking about this or that, and it just kind of got annoying because they're always, when you have actors like, oh, I love this part, oh, I loved working with this, or that was fun, and they'll just kind of giggle and talk. They won't talk about the scene or whatnot. Some people won't be in that scene, and I just couldn't take more than 10 minutes of it because it was just like, oh, I love this, and blah, blah. It wasn't very kind of technical, but that was the other two commentaries were for, which I loved it. But of course, the Blu-ray, once again, I'll go back to it, does have of course the making of, and it has a bunch of music featurettes and a bunch of deleted scenes, a whole different ending, and then commentary on the different deleted scenes and whatnot, and just chock full of content, the Blu-ray, and I was very much happy with it. But once again, continuing talking about Scott Pilgrim, the soundtrack, which I also listened to right after I watched the movie because it has great music, and that was just something I really loved. That's another reason why I saw it so many times, is the music, especially the Black Sheep video, I love to death. And I love the soundtrack too, and it actually got me involved listening to Metric. Like I listen to Metric a lot now, and Emily Haynes, not Envy Adams. I started listening to a lot of her music, Emily Haynes and the Soft Skeleton, which is kind of nice, like somber piano ballads that she does, very kind of old Fiona Apple-ish, which I just love to death. But that was kind of cool. That's another thing from Scott Pilgrim. Now, I did not play the Scott Pilgrim video game, which of course is on the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live, even though it was cheap on Xbox Live recently. But the problem with the game, even though the game is more in tune with the graphic novels and is just full of fan service, which is awesome, I can't endorse a game that doesn't have online co-op. And for some reason, having couch co-op, to me, with them saying, oh, it's old school, no, that's not cool. I didn't enjoy that whatsoever, so I never really got into the game. Maybe I will down the road for whatever reason, but not currently, mainly because I'm poor. Another cool thing, too, is recently, because I had it from Blockbuster, I actually went to my mom's for dinner yesterday and actually brought Scott Pilgrim. Like, hey, you want to watch this? I've talked about it a lot. And she actually watched it with me, which was cool. She put up with it, but I think she kind of enjoyed it and whatnot. It was, it's interesting how they mentioned the fighting maybe kind of seems out of place, but they mentioned how in musicals, when people burst into musicals, nobody really questions it. In Scott Pilgrim, they kind of go into fights when, and nobody really questions it. It's kind of a fight-sicle, I think somebody mentioned has it. But, that's kind of being my Scott Pilgrim rambling. I did enjoy it immensely, and like I said, I saw a dozen million times, 4 times in the theaters, 3 times on Blu-ray, so that's 7 times, and I just loved each minute of it. I'll probably reread the graphic novel soon for the 3rd time, and I just really do enjoy it. I know a lot of other people enjoyed it. It's a shame it didn't do that well at the box office, but it's understandable. It's a very niche market. But as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time. Oh yeah, my 2 favorite characters for Scott Pilgrim, of course, are Kim Pines and Julie, who are just awesome and sarcastic.